a little bit of a modification to the exhaust. It necks down to 2.5. So this section over here, this is what is supplied right here. So we have this part, which is a true 3-inch. So we're going to be joining onto that. And he supplied us a V-bend, a piece of 3-inch titanium, and some pie cuts. Once you get the covers removed, you can see that pipe a little bit better. There you see the neck down. So first thing we're going to do is cut the flange off the 3-inch pipe. So we're going to cut that because that is going to be the V-bend. All right, we got our flange cut off here. This is our V-bend, so pay attention to your V-bend. If it has the step, this is actually a nice feature because it helps it line up, but also it helps for sealing. You see we got basically a male step right here. That is the one you want to put on your downpipe, so the airflow is going this way. See how small it is? Now we have our piece tacked on there. I'm going to use this. It's by Tycon. It's called a chill block. Basically a whacking great piece of brass or copper. But this is fantastic. It really pulls the heat out of this. It gives you less chance of warping this, and obviously keeps it cool, which makes it easier to weld. So we found out this exhaust looks 3-inch, but it's not. This is 3-inch right here. And as you see, 3-inch goes inside with a little bit of a wobble to it. So we're gonna have to build a cone to come from this size to 3-inch to the pie cuts for this. So this is one of those things that people ask us, hey, how long is it gonna take? And sometimes we don't know until we get into it. This is one of those reasons we don't know, because we didn't know it was gonna be 3.15. Sounds like it'd make a really good ring. So we're sonic cleaning the injectors first, then we're going to flow test them wide open. That is funny. That is perfect. Wow, what a difference that made.
Yeah, and this was a real nice pretty purple when we started. That was what we put in the
cleaner.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing, the difference. So fresh, clean injectors are in there, spark plugs. We did the loose valve adjustment like I mentioned earlier to help seat the valves, but it's got really, really bad leak down. But it sounds 1,000 times better. The check engine light is from the O2 sensor. Nobody had it in stock. It's gonna be a week before we can get it from Honda. So we can talk to her and see if she wants to bring it back for that. But right now it runs 1,000 times better. It's just not 100%. Another S2000 here. This has been here a few times. It's here for full maintenance and the belt moldings. This one is kind of rough, the one on the driver's side. This little strip right here is completely gone, and what that does is seals from water going down into the window. If this is missing, this is all open, and this car has had the switch is replaced twice already, and it's from water going down here. It shorts out the window switch. This little strip is very important. Anyway, we're going to put 2 brand new moldings on here. This is known as the belt molding, by the way. And then we're going to do all the fluids. Let me show you the fluids, and then we'll show you the car.
Got it one more time. No, doesn't like that code.
That's the wrong code then. So oil and filter, trans fluid, diff fluid, engine. All right, so we have the radio working. This is funny. We did this car, and I think the video is called Valentine's Day Surprise. Anyway, we changed the radio because it didn't work, and that's the code of this radio, hence why her code didn't work. So now it's back up and running. It's a slightly newer radio. Just like an MP2 radio, isn't it? Yeah. Super summer savings. So there we go. It's back up and running. We just wrote the code in her book right there. So now radio works. We cross that off the list. Just want to show you a couple of things, and I'm not trying to pat ourselves on the back and tell you how good we are. We're just trying to tell you why we do things a certain way. Sony put brake pads on this car, and I'm sure they were very reasonably priced. It's even got the rotor bolts that we sell. Anyway, Sony put pads on it, and the rotors look as old as we are. Looks like they were never changed. I mean, that's something we'd never do. You might complain when we say, hey, we're doing pads and rotors together. There's a reason we do it that way. One of the shocks George looked at and said, looks like it was leaking a little bit.
Yeah, left rear, the whole control arm is coated in shock oil.
Oh yeah, it's the anti-rust prevention.
Yeah, that's all it is.
See that? That's the northern modification. It stops your car rusting. So yeah, that shock is blown out. We're doing diff fluid, trans, and engine oil. Is this the one where it's only put one new tire on?
Yeah, that's the nice one.
That looks like a good tire.
Yeah.
So yeah, come on in. You only need one tire. This date is 22. Yeah, so it's this is a good tire. 3 years old. And the rest of them are old as can be. Different brand, different age.
Got a little bit of cracking on that one. A couple of them are worse than others.
What's the date code on this one?
Just 2017.
Oh, this is 20. Okay, you just said that.
That's all.
So you're sometimes saving money, but you're not saving money by doing one tire. That's a good way to cause an issue. If your car's worth doing, put a set of 4 on it. If just the back ones are bad, put back ones on, but stick to the same brand. Don't flip-flop and get the cheapest one that Al's Tire Shop has, and it'll give you a cut on it, because you're not really saving money long run. Anyway. By the time you see this video, we should have more of these in stock. These are the soft top straps, and they're designed to go on your soft top without removing your top. This is a product that Modify used to sell back in the day. And we've definitely seen there's a need in the market, and a lot of people ask for it. These are way nicer quality than any of those I've seen. These are made by our friend Rizal in Bahrain. He makes the backs for us. Look at these. These are fantastic. 2-inch wide elastic, very good quality. Edges are stitched. And the fact that the pins are incorporated and they're not going to fall out like the older ones, if you remember those. Anyway, how these work is they sit inside those rivet holes. I put a little diagram on the screen right here. But you're going to place them in the rivet holes, wrap them around themselves, and then the tension holds those in. They work extremely well. By the time you see this video, we should have more in stock. We only ordered a small batch to see how they would go, and they sold out in 2 days. So we have more. This is something else. This is a custom box I had ordered. I would say I made it, but I didn't. I just ordered this exact size. But it fits the trunk bags, again, made by our friend in Bahrain. And these boxes fit absolutely perfect. So this is neighbor John's Integra. It's been a work in progress. He's been working on this car for a long time. We built the exhaust and the intercooler pipe, and it's in a previous episode somewhere. We had ECU issues. The last times I tuned it, every tiny change I made, it wouldn't accept the change. And then when I made a drastic change, it would go the opposite way. The most bizarre thing I've ever seen, and I've been tuning a long time. One of the reasons I don't tune cars that we don't build, just because of that kind of thing. Anyway, long story. My wife was going out of town for the weekend. I called neighbor John, said, hey, do you want to bring the car over after work? We stayed late. Friday, I think it was last Friday, tuned it. Car performed wonderful. The new ECU and K-Pro worked like it should, which is just such a relief. You would think typing on a keyboard and the results showing on the dyno would be something that should be novel. Well, on his car, it is not. By the time you see this video, I'll be back. My hair's all sticking up. I'm going to England for 2 weeks, and it's bittersweet. What does bittersweet mean? You know what it means. My dad isn't doing too good. We kind of planned this trip last year, and it just didn't happen. We didn't have the money, and we didn't have the time off. Going to England is a big ordeal traveling, so you can't really go for the weekend. It's 24 hours, essentially, to get there. Anyway, last year, it didn't happen, so we planned it, bought the tickets, everything for this year. And then, long story, my dad has been in the hospital 5 weeks tomorrow. I'm not going to go into series because I'm not the guy that wants to tell you about all the bad stuff going in my life, like you really, care and want to follow. Anyway, he had a mini heart attack and a stroke, so he's not doing good generally, and he lives alone. He's 89. In fact, he's 89 in 7 days. We'd already planned this trip. We're going there. My dad is still in the hospital, and he's really just sucky. I don't know why I'm venting to you. So anyway, I'm going to England for 2 weeks. Obviously, my wife and my kids. It's my kids' first time going to England. My wife has been 3 times before. I haven't been there in 10 years. The last time I went was for my mom's funeral. That was before my little girl was even born. In fact, my wife was pregnant with my little girl when I went over there. So my mom never got to meet my little girl. So it kind of sucks. So it's one of those things. What am I talking about? Here's the point of this. Life is precious. You get one shot. I'm not trying to be downplay. I just try and tell you what I should listen to myself. You have one shot. You're born here, you're dead here. Somewhere in between is where you make it happen. Whatever you want to do. You want to go on vacation, you want to buy the Z06 that you probably should buy, but you just want it because at the end you can't go back and do it again. You want to build your S2000, you want to build your garage out. You want to put plants and, you know, decorate your backyard and put a waterfall. So whatever. You only get one shot. And the people in your life, they're only here for a short amount of time. And once they're gone, you can't catch up and bring them back and do it again. So take the advice that I didn't. Hang out with the people that you care about, do the things that you want to do, and make the best of it. This is your life right here. You don't know where this point is. Anyway, on an upscale, I'll put pictures, I'll do a vlog, I'll show you where I used to live, the school I went to, where I met my whatever over there, my best friend. One of my best friends was passed away. Maybe I can get my other best friend to come that I went to college with. A lot of history over there. I left England when I was 23, but I still did a lot while I was there, and I'll try and share that with you. Like I said, this video will be up when I'm back. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate the subscribes and the likes and the shares. We'll see you on the next video. Don't forget, enjoy your life.